Especially a pipeline. More on the way from John. Slides in under the hood. That Jeep yellow jersey, bright yellow through the barrel, and he'll just lay one down for the crowd.
Especially with the amount of time, it looks like one wave is going to be it.
Well, John's making a move here. This is it. Just over a minute to go. John Florence tucks in. He's deep inside this barrel. Can he find his way through? He does. He may need more. Drives down the line, goes to the air, stops the reverse, and gets the completion.
Emotion high.
He is feeling it. And he's got time to turn things around up against Kai Albelli. Meanwhile, John Florence eyeing off this backdoor wave, and he tucks in, finds some cover, looking for an exit down the line, and he finds his way through. He likes the feel of that, looks to the beach. And if John Florence likes the feel of a wave out at backdoor, there's a good chance that that score is going to go pretty high. Ferociously trying to get back to the takeoff zone. John Florence, meanwhile, locked in an absolute bomb. He'll find his way through. Hands behind the back. He had an 8-point ride at the back door just moments ago. And he's about to put up another big score. And that would have been hard for Zeke Lau to watch. He's going to be chasing two big numbers now.
It sure was, and you know, you could see when he was coming and anticipating it, he braced himself and got really strong and held on, and literally he couldn't see a thing. I mean, it filled up with foam and then just blasted out like a cannon. So cool to see, and of course John Florence is going to do that, right?
Love the technique there, Barton, utilising the control of stuffing that rail into the face of the wave, using his body for a moment there, but getting on that front foot in order not to go over the back of the foam ball at the end of that ride.
Absolutely, and the judges loved it, and rightly so. One of the best waves we've seen today. John Florence finding his groove in this heat, the rhythm, the momentum starting to build, the relationship with the wave coming back to him, and you can see he's loving it. There is that. That's about as animated and as claimy as John most probably gets right there.
The true specialist can get into these, monsters. And here we go, John again. Just finding room to move out here. Ducks in. Should find his way through this one. The wave spits. He re-emerges. And again, throws the hands behind the back. So a number of incredible rides for Florence. He checks the clock, sees that there's only 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. It feels like Zeke Lau's run on the championship tour is going to come to an end. Another amazing look at it there from Florence. Pete Mel getting chatty with John in the lineup.
Surf better against guys that are notoriously good out at pipeline.
Speaking of that, John Florence pulls in under the hood. Another section. It got messy, but he had so much control of that Pizel surfboard. He will come out free. Here at Pipeline. Rolling in. We'll start things off with John. Looking at backdoor. Driving through another section. Florence gets the exit. Right and...
Here's a replay of John's wave.
Pretty crazy start there, going over an impossible section. He made it out. Strider, what did you see from your backdoor angle?
Wild view from over here. So we've shifted position so we could look into the barrel at backdoor. John, identified that it was a meaty section, was in the pipe, and then...
Still heating up. He just got a 9.07. Take us through.
This kid's on fire. It's once he starts, it's done. It's a wrap. And you can see the fire in his eye, man. This kid wants a Pipe Master trophy, and I don't think he'll ever be complete in his own mind. He could have 10 world titles, but until he gets this trophy, he's not done. And you can see he's not just getting barreled, he's putting out big power turns.
His account against John. John drops into this one, pulls up on the rail. The spit comes out, and so does John.
Wow, I can't wait to see these replays. John thinking priority.
It's a radical barrel. Here we go with John BL.
Ooh, a more critical takeoff, a more critical wave. Obviously, the second wave of the set looked a little bigger, looked a little gnarlier, and I see the advantage going to John Florence on that opening exchange.
One more look in slow motion of the backhand barrel riding technique of John Florence.
Here we go, both guys having a look.
John wants it. He wants backdoor, pulls in. It's a drainer, a spit, and an exit for John Florence.
Oh, that turn.
Throw the hack in there, right in the shallow reef section. Look at John.
Falls out of the rope super late, just squeaks under that, and you can see the amount of water that spits out of it. That turn, I'm sorry, that does it for me as much as the tube ride did. And John Florence doesn't look like a massive guy, but the power he puts in, so deep, and then all of that power spitting out of the wave. And watch this turn, folks. That was gold. That's as good as it gets. Power, class, style, everything you could ask for in an amazing ride right there on display from the two-time champ.
Yeah, the combination of a searing maneuver and a deep barrel at pipe. John doing this for love. Traveling and coming out.
Without the priority. Another great ride, throwing away a 7.5 already.
Paddle back out and get position.
John's one on the replay, a nice traveller. He enjoyed that one.
Oh, lines of set coming through here, hitting the reef at Ehukai. John on the turn. Here he goes, slides down the face, little sliding on the bottom, parks himself perfectly and gets the exit, finds that door out after a big stick behind him.
So fun. I think how hard to pull up on that wave too, to avoid that lip and outrace it before it lands on his head too, is just so impeccable. You watch him and then he just kind of thrusts up.
Just masterfully done, and this timing right here, sneak out just in time. Heat number 9 of the opening round, opening day of the Billabong Pro Pipeline. 8 minutes on the clock, and here goes John once again. Let's enjoy this. And extra section, he's out. Again.
So good.
Mastery.
Right? Yeah, and it's so black and white, I think, when you've been watching all day, but then you see someone like John's caliber paddle out here. You can tell he's just those couple levels above it all.
Here. Replay.
Here we go. John gets that little puck up of speed before he just does some travel time under the curtain. Looks like he's having the time of his life. I mean, it just shows it's exuding out of his body language. Just time stands still, I think, for John. I think for a lot of people, they're just looking for that exit. They just want to get the ride over and done with, where John has that ability to slow things down, just take every aspect of it in and really just adjust to what the wave is doing.
And that adjustment there, evident in the slow motion, to get that bonus section on this elongated pipeline way. And here goes John once again. Let's enjoy this. And extra section, he's out.
Where John has that ability to slow things down, just take every aspect of it in and really just adjust to what the wave is doing.
And that adjustment there, evident in the slow motion, to get that bonus section on this elongated pipeline wave.
John he actually put it locked in 8.5 for this wave, which was one of the highest scores we've seen today.
And a replay, John.
So deep. Didn't even have to really pump. And there he goes, gets moving, spat out, and then eyes off a little spinny section.
Yeah, and an 8.5, excellent score for John Florence. Strider, what do you got? And a replay, John.
So deep. Didn't even have to really pump. And there he goes, gets moving, spat out, and then eyes off a little spinny section.
Yeah, and an 8.5, excellent score for John Florence.
Watch out, John Florence. Screenshot moment here. There's the capture. There's the poster for your wall. Iconic.
Insane.
Iconic.
Classic.
Come
right? On. It was dark inside that barrel.
The war zone that is pipeline.
Oh, John just using his entire frame to slow down, put the brakes on. Look at the way that whitewater is exploding above the wave. So much velocity. Insane. He goes over that little ledge right there, tucks into that dark cavern. Just so well done. And, just to manage his speed in that, because that wave is just trying to push you out into the shoulder and just maintaining his composure. Love the way that he pulls under this hood, though. He knows this little ledging section is coming. He reads it so well. That wave is thick. It's heavy.
lately, even though he's a rookie. John knows. I mean, he's been in enough events, especially here at Pipe, to be able to put together a technical heat and get the best barrels of the day and just make them magic moments with John Florence. Will continue.
Back-to-back waves. He's applying the pressure to Zhao, but Zhao, I'm not counting him out because earlier today he took out Jack Robinson.
They are all just focused and fierce, looking out to the lineup as we see John take off in a deep wave.
Oh, there he goes.
Spat out, amazing.
Like I said, John's the best guy out here right now, and he just shows it right here. Kaipo so late, behind the peak. He's backdooring Pipeline. That's going to be another great score in his scoreline.
I love the water angle provided to us, McCool. What happens in the barrel?
John just really comfortable in there. You see how he's dragging himself on the wall of that wave? He's not trying to hurry up at all. He knows where he's at. He knows his position in his prime. I mean, right there, getting his weight over that front foot, going for the first pump, and then the rest is history. He's just dragging. He's having fun. He's doing what John does.
John. So good they named him twice.